It's 73 degrees outside.
It is such a beautiful day outside. There are dandelions. The last dandelion.
Oh, the last dandelion. Oh, was that a little bird? Twittering in the distance?
Soup? Seriously? Soup.
What is that, little bird? Oh.
What is the Snow White song?
I'm wishing. I'm wishing. That's not the right one. That's the one where she's at the wishing well. Someday my prince will.
Oh yeah,
come.
isn't there? Or maybe I'm thinking of Enchanted, where she's like
ha, ha, ha.
going back and forth with the birds.
Yes, that's really funny. Well, there is that scene in Shrek where Fiona's like, ah,
Oh yeah.
ah, and then the bird like explodes.
You know who is maybe I was gonna say severely underrated, but I do feel like he's aptly rated for the role in
Shrek?
Enchanted. No.
Shrek is very aptly rated.
No. James Marsden in
Yes,
Enchanted. Like
he's
his
amazing.
character in that is so good.
Yeah.
He's one of the only people I've seen play a character that is supposed to be like ditzy and just like kind of dumb, but like him play it in a way where he's not annoying.
Giselle. Oh man.
Giselle.
The way that he delivers his lines is so good.
It's just like he's still so genuine without being annoying.
Yeah. I just got in trouble for not sending in my suggestion for our book club.
Or
So
no.
I'm going to send in my suggestion.
What
for the
book club?
A book club with some girls at work. And the girl who's like heading it up is like, hey, like, did you put in your book suggestion yet? Or and I'm like, no, I did not. Anyway, you can cut all that out. But
What are you suggesting? What are you gonna suggest?
I'm gonna suggest the Decagon House Murders.
Wow.
So it's a retelling of Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None,
Oh.
but it's written by a Japanese author. And that's kind of all I know about it. It's like
Okay.
a closed door mystery. Speaking of islands, And Then There Were None is a murder mystery set on an island. So it's like, oh, there's only 10 people who it could be, and people are dying off. So like the options are getting limited.
Yeah.
And it's the same concept, but it's in a 10-sided house.
10-sided?
That's what decagon means.
Oh.
Or it's a
I'm gonna
10-sided room.
I'm going to be
or-
real honest. I thought you were talking about like a mythological creature or something.
Oh, that would make sense. That does kind of sound like that.
Like a gorgon or something.
Decagon.
Decagon.
Hold on. I gotta put in my suggestion. Hold on. The Decagon House Murders. I really was just talking to myself, but then it came out so funny.
The Decagon.
The Decagon House Murders. It's like the kid in The Shining, like when he's being his finger.
Rat rap.
Yeah, he's like, Tony.
I know that movie is supposed to be like really scary, but
It's really not that scary.
for the most part, it's really not. There are a couple parts that are pretty suspenseful, but other than that,
Yeah, I agree. Ian and I were watching it, and we never finished it.
it's probably okay.
I'm like, I don't think you're missing out on doing it.
It's considered a classic, but it's probably you're probably not missing much. So if you like plane crash shows or movies, then did you ever watch Lost?
I actually was just thinking about that because as I was talking, I'm like, then I might like Lost. Again, I have not gotten into Lost because it seems like a huge commitment. Like, Lost is so long,
Mm-hmm.
and there's so many seasons, and I have heard how disappointed everyone was with the way that it ended,
Mm-hmm.
and also how complicated it was and how it just completely went off the rails and made no sense at the end.
Yeah.
And so that has deterred me
Mm-hmm.
from wanting to get involved with it.
I think knowing that you can find answers online now about how it ends, I feel like you could watch the first couple seasons when it's like actually really good, and then just stop when it's like, okay, this is really dumb, and just like, if you really want to know what happens, either ask someone who's watched it or just look up a Reddit post about it, because then you can like be like, oh, okay. So I feel like there's like a part of it that is really good and maybe would be worth watching, but to recommend like the whole show, I don't know, because I was also very disappointed with the end.
I love how we're just like a TV review
podcast
like, now.
Did you ever watch Manifest?
I started Manifest.
Okay, I did too, and then because
it has the guy from Once Upon a Time.
Yes, Prince Charming.
Prince Charming.
Prince Cha.
Is that from Ella Enchanted? What?
That makes so much sense.
What?
His name is short for Charming.
Yeah, Prince Char.
Prince Char. Charming.
Kind of terrible, but yeah.
Charm me, Lucky Charms. It is terrible. Yes, that is from Ella Enchanted.
Yeah. Oh, man. I loved Ella Enchanted.
You know, me too. And, okay, I have a very strong memory tied to Ella Enchanted. It's like anytime I talk about that movie or watch it or think about it, I cannot not think about this memory with it. Do you have anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I was probably in middle school, so like 5th grade maybe. So I don't remember how old you are in 5th grade, but
probably like 10 or 11.
Okay, yeah. So I'm like 10 or 11, and I'm staying at my friend Caitlin's house. And we were watching Ella Enchanted in her living room. So I was sleeping, or I was situated on like this love seat couch they had, and then she was on like the full couch on the other side of the room, and we ended up like falling asleep. Like, we slept on those couches when I stayed over for some reason. I didn't stay over at her house very often. I probably like maybe a handful of times the whole time like we were friends. And so I'm like 10 or 11, right? We fall asleep. I wake up like early in the morning, and I had peed.
No.
On the couch, like soiled the sheets.
Not on the couch.
On the couch, yes.
Oh no.
So no one's awake yet. So I wake up and realize what's happened. And out of sheer embarrassment, because what the heck, man?
Right?
I'm like 10 or 11. I haven't wet the bed in years. And for some reason, when I'm at my friend's house on her couch. So
you said there were sheets though?
Yeah. So like her mom had put down like a fitted sheet or something.
Okay.
And then I had a blanket. So I am like panicking. And so I take the sheets off of the couch, go upstairs, stash them in her closet, like up in the...
There's no way that they didn't know that they were there.
So then I come back down because there was like a spot on the couch. So I flipped the couch cushion.
I mean, honestly, that's not a bad idea.
Right? And then yeah, so then I was just like trying to be cool, act like nothing happened. Yeah, right. But then it's like, where'd your sheets go? Like, now you're wearing, like, it's, now that I'm thinking about it back, it's like there's so many questions left unanswered. Like, why are you all of a sudden wearing different, I guess maybe that's not super weird because
you could have just gotten
like,
dressed or something.
Yeah, right. But so then I went home and...
Why didn't you put them in the laundry? I guess if you're 10, you might not.
Yeah, I don't... It's just, like, it's so embarrassing.
I would have just been like, oh, like, I just wanted to get a head start and, like, help you out. And
Nope. Nope, I chose to put them in
I want to imagine like her parents like being like, why does your closet smell so bad? And then like finding these sheets.
Right. Well, I think her mom like sussed it out like really quickly.
I can't wait to be a mom. I can't wait to find urine covered sheets in my closet and be like, my gosh. Oh, one of my daughter's friends must have stuffed this in here.
Yeah, peed on the sofa.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
But so I think she sussed it out pretty quick after I left because I don't remember when I found out that they knew, but I later found out that they knew what had happened, and it was like very quickly after I left that they discovered the evidence, and I was just like so embarrassed.
Well, I think as a kid, you can just kind of like, you just don't understand enough about the world, like to understand that like pee smells, and like,
right.
It's like that people know what's supposed to go in their closets, and they're like, why are those sheets up in my closet? You know, like,
yeah, right.
But as a kid, you're just like, oh, like no one will know. You know?
Yeah.
This is a foolproof plan. Yeah, because you're not paying attention to stuff like that, so you're just kind of under the assumption that no one is. Yeah, and it's like, oh wait,
you're just doing anything you can to spare your own dignity at that point, and thinking like, I think I felt like if I put them in her, I guess I was maybe trying to frame her essentially. Oh, like she might, like her mom might think she did it or something.
Because they also wouldn't talk to each other in this scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I had a friend sleep over one time when we were like, because I met her in 7th grade, so it was, we were like 12 or 13, so like older. And she fully wet the bed in my bed. We were sharing a double bed, and she fully. Because I woke up and I was kind of wet, and I'm like, oh my God, why am I wet? But my excuse my language, my crotch was dry, and like my area around me was dry, right. And I was like, so that's so weird. And so I am like, oh, like just kind of, and then I'm like, I think she might have wet the bed. And later I like took the sheets off the bed, and I was like, hey, like I think you might have like peed, like, which again, being young, I shouldn't have said anything. I should have allowed her the dignity of just not saying anything. Like, but like I remember in my mind trying to be kind of being like, hey, like I think you might have like wet the bed, like what, something like that.
I think you might be incontinent.
And she was like, no, I just get really sweaty at night. And I was just like, oh okay.
Your sweat kind of smells like urine.
Like that's, you should get that looked at. Like, because I kind of was like, had no reason.
You might be really sick.
I kind of had no reason to like disbelieve her. Right. But I was like, because I was still young enough to just kind of believe what people told me. Yeah. But then also sort of like edging into understanding of like, I think she's lying.
Like you still don't know enough about the world to like just disprove everything that someone says to you, but you're also kind of skeptical. So you're like, well, I guess that could be.
Well, because I remember taking the sheets to my mom after. I think it was after she left. Yeah. And I was like, hey, like, can we wash my sheets? And she, of course, could smell them. And she's like, oh my gosh, did like someone wet the bed? And I was like, no, Hannah, I'm just going to call her out. Hannah just gets really sweaty at night. And my mom was like, that's not, like, my mom literally was like, this is not sweat. Like, no one sweats this much. And I was just like, oh. Yeah.
Man.
So... Hannah, if you're listening to this, I know that you wet my bed.
Oh my gosh, man.
I also, oh my God, because I don't know why I'm thinking about this, because I remember having sleepovers at her house the most frequently, and so listening to you tell your story, I'm picturing this girl's house. Even I'm not picturing your friend's house. I'm picturing you in another girl's house that I grew up with, that I spent the night at her house a lot. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And what's funny is, so when I was younger, we had a lot of sleepovers at her house. We never had sleepovers at my house, which is interesting. But we always had sleepovers at her house. And years later, she had like a younger brother who's like 10 years younger than her, at least. And so when we both got to be teenagers, I would sometimes babysit her baby brother. Not when she was there, but it just happened to be the same house, and I'm remembering. All the stories will connect, I promise.
Yeah, okay.
So I went over to her house to babysit her little brother, and it was my first ever babysitting job. So this was the beginning of this era of my life. My first ever by myself at someone else's house babysitting job. and he was like probably 4 or 5. He was at least verbal.
Okay.
Because I don't remember exactly how old he was, but he was old enough to talk and walk and sort of take care of himself.
Mm-hmm.
And again was very inexperienced. I'd never babysat before. I thought I had to be with him the whole time. Like I could not let him out of my sight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I have to keep an eye on him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't go to the bathroom the entire time.
Oh my gosh.
That I was there, and I ended up peeing my pants at my first ever babysitting job. I peed my pants.
Oh my gosh.
Because
my bladder hurts from you saying that.
So my mom brought me a change of pants and underwear at my first ever babysitting job, and I was so embarrassed. I didn't want the parents to know, even though I was wearing different pants. So I don't know how they explained that one.
Yeah.
In their own minds.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom, I also wasn't driving yet, and so my mom literally, she brought me these things, and she just like pulled around the corner so they wouldn't see her car, and just waited for the job to be over. She didn't want to have to go all the way home and then come back and get me.
Right.
And so I was like, Mom, because she was gonna park in the driveway. I'm like, Mom, can you please like not
incognito mode, please.
So she parked like away from the house.
Oh, what a sweet mom though.
She really was such a great mom. Or is.
R.I.P.
This is my official announcement. My mom is dead.
Oh my gosh,
just kidding.
That would be horrible.
Yeah, no, she's very much alive.
Yes.
I had dinner with her last night. She's doing great.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Aw. In Clarksville?
No, we met at Opry Mills.
Oh, fun. Where'd you go?
Cheesecake Factory.
Ugh, yes.
Yeah.
Freaking.
Speaking of Cheesecake Factory, because we talked about cheesecake
did.
like 2 episodes ago.
I think it was last No.
There was one in between.
It was Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So we went to Cheesecake Factory. Everything at Cheesecake Factory is like 1,500 calories.
10,000 calories.
Yeah. So it's like you can get an entree and a slice of cheesecake for 4,000 calories. It's pretty insane.
That's wild.
They have a skinny-licious menu for you to order things that are actual normal caloric intake.
Yeah.
But you have to distinguish, because so many items on the skinny-licious menu are the same as items that are on the main menu, but just like cooked differently, like prepared differently and with less oil or with different sauces or whatever. And so when you order, you have to say like, can I get the skinny-licious like steak medallions or whatever? And it's so embarrassing.
It will prevent me from ordering something on a menu. If I'm too embarrassed to say the name, I won't order it.
Yeah.
Like freaking when restaurants do stuff like
the wacky
chunky,
Jackie,
wonky, monkey, funky, I'm like, I really want it because it's got all of my favorite things in it, but I don't want to look like an idiot saying this name.
Yeah.
And I hate when they do
that. Also, it's back to the pee story.
Yeah.
No, the same lady, so the girl's mom, my friend's mom, who I watched her youngest child.
Yeah.
And probably noticed that I had different pants on when
I
left her home. I also remember telling her one time that I had consumption. God bless you, Karen. Poor Karen. I just can't.
What?
I cannot imagine knowing someone from childhood to adulthood. Like, she came to my wedding. We talked about marriage.
Oh,
like,
my gosh.
I have known this woman as an adult, and then I'm remembering all these things that I told her as a kid, and I'm like, how do you look at me as an adult and not just think of all these things?
Do you think she's like watching you walk down the aisle and be like, she told me she had consumption one time?
Well, so I told her I had consumption, and what I meant was that I had constipation. So I had described to her how I wasn't pooping. And I'm like, it's like consumption or something. Anyway, because I remember feeling like that's not right. And then I found out later it was not right. But she was just like, oh. I'm like, that's literally all. She was like, oh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I had no sense of
my goodness.
self-censoring.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna have to pause because I'm actually gonna pee my pants.
Okay.
Right now.
Today.
Right now. And we're back. Your toilet paper is so soft and plush.
Yeah, we do.
Love it.
We spend lots of money on
do.
toilet paper.
Well, I accidentally, the last time I was at the store, bought 1-ply.
Why is this such a pee pee poo poo episode? Why are we talking about this so much?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
I know
yes,
you don't like it.
I have accidentally bought 1-ply before.
And I bought, I think, 12 rolls of it.
Sorry. I'm thinking about the time. I want to know if you're thinking of the same time I'm thinking of. I can't tell this story.
My 29th birthday?
No.
Oh!
No! But that's a good one. That's a really good one. Do you want to tell that on the podcast?
We could probably tell that one. I'm fine with it. I don't know if it'll translate, but...
Well, no, I think it will. Because I have... Sorry, in advance. I have told this story before to other people who don't know you.
Honestly...
Because it's so funny.
That's crazy. All right.
Anyway, so on Chris's 29th birthday, I threw her a New Girl themed birthday party. Mm-hmm. And at the New Girl themed birthday party, we played a game of True American, which
JFK, FDR.
Yeah. I don't remember.
I don't either.
And if you're wondering, there are no official rules to True American. Mm-hmm. So I fully just made it up as I was going along.
It was amazing.
And well, your boyfriend was very mad at me.
Yeah, he was
so terrified.
He was just like, "What are the rules?"
He did not thrive in that environment.
He does not know.
But I because I just remember looking at him. He was out in the hallway, and he was just like just so mad that I put him in the hallway.
Oh yeah, you exiled him.
I exiled him, and then he was like so upset about it. And then I was like, "All right, fine, someone else go." And I. Like I was just like,
You exiled me.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, is that why? Because you're
no. I was just trying to prove that it doesn't matter because I'm just making things up. So I was just like, here, you can exile. Anyway, so we were playing True American, and there are no official rules that are published for True American. So I was just making it up, and it is a drinking game, and so there is drinking involved.
Yes,
and we were playing with people who are all over 21.
Yeah.
And we were in the safety of my home, and nobody that was driving home was intoxicated.
Yeah.
And Chris was going to spend the night at my house.
Yes.
Was the plan.
Yeah.
So.
Because I, never drink.
Neither do I.
Ever.
So this was
hardly.
A great plan.
Yeah. Foolproof.
Yes. Chris, at that point, really, I mean, I'm not saying you do now, but,
right.
You were not really drinking ever.
No.
And I just, in general, don't really drink a lot.
Honestly, maybe one drink a year.
Yeah.
Is really what I was doing at that point. And still do now. I think that's the most I've ever drank in my life. And it really wasn't even that much.
Yeah. That was the situation.
Yeah.
And so we're doing a little bit of drinking and playing a drinking game. And I am having a great time. And I remember
more details are coming back to me.
Well, chime in with them when you think of them.
Okay.
But I remember being like, all right, it's the end of the night. I think some people had already left, and it was winding down. And I was like, I want to do one more shot. And I was like, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
I want to do a shot. Will you do a shot with me? And you were already kind of over it. You were kind of at the end.
I was probably over my limit.
Yeah. And I was feeling pretty good. And so I was like, hey, let's do one more shot to end the night. And so we did a shot together.
Yeah.
And
it wrecked me.
Literally within a minute, within a minute, you were like, I'm gonna be sick.
I was sitting on the couch. I could not.
You were
open
leaning
my
against
eyes.
Evan, and you had your eyes within a minute. She was eyes closed, I can't open my eyes.
Yeah.
And
I remember feeling so desperate because Evan's friend from out of town was coming in that night. So Evan was getting ready to leave, and I remember being like, Don't leave
go. So I do
Please
remember
don't leave me. But he had to go. So
yeah, I do remember that. Unfortunately, no. Yeah, so okay. Chris was like, it took one, I mean, she'd been drinking the whole night, but it took one shot and that was like the end.
Because like, I mean, you have to understand, like, when you don't have hardly
a tolerance,
and you don't have any experience, like, knowing what will put you over that limit, like, you just don't. And I felt like fine before that, and it was just, yeah, it was.
I just remember it being like, oh, she's pretty normal, like we're all feeling a little buzzed, and then it was like one shot just ended you. And so you were laying on the couch and you had your eyes closed and Evan was leaving and you were like, I have to go to the bathroom. And you were like, but if I get up, like, I'm afraid I'm going to be sick.
Yeah.
And so you had your eyes closed and we like sat there talking about it for a long time. Yeah. Of you being like, I need to go.
I really did not want to throw up.
Yeah.
Really didn't want to do that.
I didn't want you to either. And so I was like, we sat there making a plan for, I feel like 10 minutes of like, all right, we've got to get you to the bathroom. How are we going to get you to the bathroom?
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't stand up. I can't do it.
Because I couldn't open my eyes.
She couldn't open her eyes. And so, and so finally we were like, all right, we're going to figure this out. And so I kind of helped you up off the couch.
Yeah.
And it was very like I was your walker and you were an old lady. Because you were kind of like knees bent, a little hunched over.
Yeah.
And I had grabbed your forearms and we were kind of forearm locked. And I was walking backwards trying to lead
Oh my gosh, I remember
into
that.
The bathroom.
Yes.
And you had your eyes closed and you were shuffling along and I'm walking backwards into the bathroom.
Yeah.
To get you to the bathroom. So it took us several minutes to get to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And finally we do get to the bathroom. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to stay in here in case you need
for
anything,
my safety,
but I'm gonna turn around so that you can like do what you need to do in like semi-privacy.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. And so I am turned around facing the shower curtain and we're just like chit-chatting. We're just like, you know, like whatever. And it's not like anything intense. Yeah. Because you were still like not feeling 100%.
Yeah.
But we were just kind of like, oh yeah, like, oh, that was fun, blah, blah, blah. And just kind of talking. And I'm like, wow, this is taking forever. And like, I understand that you're like inebriated, like your things are probably not moving as quickly as you want them to go. And so I'm just like waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm like, wow, this is taking so long. And so finally I was like, I'm just going to turn around and see what she's doing. And so I turn around and Chris is obviously sitting on the toilet and she has her hand on the toilet paper and she has somehow progressively unrolled the entire roll of toilet paper onto the ground. And she's doing this like pinching motion. So she has her eyes closed and she has her hand on the toilet paper and she's just like sort of I wish I could show you, listeners, but she's just kind of like pinching at the roll and it's just moving and it's just unrolling. And so I was like, are you okay? And I was like, have you like, you're not done? And you were like, no, I'm trying to find the end of the toilet paper. There's like a huge pile on the ground.
Oh my gosh.
That was so
That's
funny.
how much I just could not open my eyes. Like I was just like, okay, I'll just find it. Because you know you can like feel it.
Like the ripped edge of the toilet paper.
It's just like not feeling it.
And you're like, it'll come eventually.
Yeah.
I'll find it eventually.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that was so good. But honestly, that's a true friend right there.
That was great.
Yeah.
And then we went to bed.
Yeah.
Wild nights. I like how this is like the wildest story that we have, and it's like not even.
Yeah.
We were in my home.
In comparison. Yeah, right. Oh, man. Did you look at the blood moon last night?
No, I did not. Did you look at the blood moon last night?
Yes. Yeah. Evan and I set our alarms and I went over to his house and we drove his truck to Percy Priest so we could watch the blood moon. And it was pretty fun. I feel like it's one of those nights that I'll remember for a long time because it's like, oh, remember that one night we like got up in the middle of the night and drove out there. And
what time did you guys go?
We went around 1 a.m.
And you still made it to 6 a.m. workout class?
Yeah.
Holy cannoli.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
I went to bed around 10 or so. I should have gone to bed earlier, but I was The crosswords got me. I was doing crosswords. And so then I woke up about 10 till 1 so I could drive over there. And then I got home and I was back in bed getting ready, trying to fall asleep around 3. So it was only like a 2-hour thing, but yeah, 5:30 came very fast.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah. But I really wanted to go because I missed on Wednesday.
There was a blood moon on Wednesday?
No. I really wanted to go. I really wanted to go to workout class.
Oh, gotcha.
This morning because I didn't go on Wednesday. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, my mom and I would drive out into the country to go look at meteor showers.
Oh, really?
So that's kind of a fun memory.
That is fun.
And I have seen both of the most recent solar eclipses.
That's right.
Because we had one in 2017
yes.
that was visible from Nashville.
Yeah.
And then my husband and I drove into the path of totality. The path of totality for the one last year. So I've seen 2 solar eclipses. That was
last year? Wow, that feels like
almost
a long time
ago. A year ago. Because it was at the end of March, beginning of April.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
For some reason, I remember you guys sending me pictures from that excursion, and I remember thinking something very specific about one of the pictures or something, but I can't remember.
Ian took a selfie of us wearing our glasses that if you've never worn eclipse glasses, you can't see anything except for an eclipse out of eclipse glasses because they're just they're black. Like they're meant to block the rays of the sun.
Yeah.
And so they're meant so you can look directly at the sun for this eclipse or for anything. You can look at the sun if you want to with these glasses on and not hurt your eyes.
Redness.
So we put on these glasses and we couldn't see anything, and Ian's like, let's take a picture. And in the picture we're both looking like different directions because obviously we can't see the camera, and so I'm like looking up here and he's looking like down there. It was I remember sending that to you because I think I said something like, oh, mom and dad on vacation or something like that, because it was very very mom and dad.
It was very mom and dad, but that's fun.
Yeah. I'm going.
Huh?
This is going really well.
I know. This is going amazing.
Wait, do you not think it's going amazing?
No, I do think it's going amazing.
Cut that out.
Everything. After everything you say. I'm going to make you a t-shirt that says, just edit that out. Or cut that out. Cut all of this out.
Cut all of this
out. It is Pie Day.
I know! And they have key lime pie at Crumble. That's my favorite one.
I was wondering why they had it again, because they just had it a couple weeks ago.
I'm so excited. I love key lime pie. Specifically small key lime pies. I can eat the whole thing.
Their key lime pie is really good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I love key lime pie.
I like the idea of key lime pie, but in reality,
well, you don't like sour things.
Yeah.
Key lime pie is like just
really
sour.
tart and sour.
Yeah.
So if it's sweet enough, I like it, but it's not typically sweet enough for me.
So good.
Get a room. Well, I thought since it's Pie Day,
I like how I've slowly moved down. I'm like, wow, why am I so low?
So
cut that up.
Julia's sitting on her couch and she has a fold out table between me and her. So I'm sitting in like a wheelie chair on one side. She's sitting on a couch on the other side. But the table is like the length of the couch and it's pushed up basically right up against the couch. So she can like sit on her laptop and sit on the couch and like have the laptop on the table if she wants. But earlier, in order to get out of the couch area to go to the bathroom, I witnessed her like slip underneath the table and go onto like all fours and climb out on the ground.
And then I went through the narrow way where there's a bar closer to, instead of just continuing to roll outward to the open space on the other side of the table, I crawled through the two most narrow legs of the table. I don't know why I do what I do.
It was so funny.
It was a choice that I made.
Anyway, since it's pie day, I thought instead of soup of the day, we would do pie of the day, since it's basically just like sweet soup in a crust.
I feel like
soup-like.
Chris would be so good at not debate necessarily, but you just, I feel like, could make a case for anything. Like, I remember, I don't know if it was on the podcast or not, but you made
it was
an argument that macaroni is actually a salad.
Like, okay, they call it macaroni salad.
What? No.
Yes, they do.
Okay, but they don't, not all, we're not going to get into this again. Okay, we're done. Cut the cameras. Anyway, Chris can make an argument for anything, and apparently pie is just sweet soup in a crust.
Tell me how it's not.
That's gonna be my new, like, when I open a pie shop. That's gonna be the text.
Sweet soup in a crust.
Hey, that'd be a funny, like, exclamation for a character in, like, a show.
Right?
Sweet soup in a crust. They've poisoned the water hole.
Oh my gosh. Ugh. So what do you think?
What do I think about what?
Do you want to do a pie of the day?
Yes, I absolutely do want to do a pie of the day.
So what's your pie of the day? Paint me like what your friend.
You sound like a scary ghost.
I'm a ghost.
Like, I can do That's what you sound like.
The ghost of James Brown over there.
Wow, I really can't.
The back of my thighs are sweating. Like my legs are slipping on this leather chair. Sorry, Ian.
That's okay.
The back of my knees are like my knee pits are sweating.
Yeah,
they're almost dripping sweat. Okay,
I hate it when that happens.
And it's definitely not your.
Summer is coming.
Yeah, it is.
I'm really having a hard time getting my mind off of key lime pie.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's how I feel today. I think I feel like a peach pie. That's what I feel.
Okay.
I feel sweet. I feel classic. I feel summery.
Summery?
And not bad. Better with ice cream, though.
So descriptive.
Hey, I have only ever committed to describing myself in soup. I have not committed to describing myself in pies.
That was not in our contract. Jinx. Well, cool. I am... Are you done?
Yep.
Okay. I am feeling like a coconut cream pie.
Ooh, interesting.
Because, interesante. Yo quiero coconut cream pie now.
Come again?
I want coconut cream pie.
Oh. Okay.
No, I feel like that because I love coconut flavor.
Whoa.
I know. So crazy. No, I do really like coconut flavor and I love mousse textured things.
I've never had mousse.
What?
Yeah, I've never had
like
mousse.
Like chocolate mousse, like the dessert mousse
no,
dessert?
like mousse like the animal. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Okay. Boo. Have you really actually not had mousse?
Like chocolate mousse?
Yeah.
I've had chocolate mousse.
Okay.
Does it seem like I'm lying?
It kind of does. I don't know what to believe.
Okay, you know what's so great about me, though?
What? Enough about you. You know what's so great about me?
So when I'm playing like a game with my husband. My husband loves board games. Whenever we're playing a game and there's a lying element, I lie pretty well.
Yeah.
But whenever I tell the truth, I can't help but look like I'm lying. Like, I'll say something completely true, and like I kind of am like
yeah,
like just give this little like smile face, not on purpose. Like, I genuinely just don't know how to tell the truth with a straight face. But it makes me really good at those games.
Yeah,
because everyone always I was like, she's lying, and then
like,
I'm always telling the truth. Because I look the most bashful.
Yeah,
when I'm telling the truth.
Yeah. Anyway, I feel like spring, summer. So coconut is like a very springy, summery flavor to me. And yeah, just like a good texture, and like things are just feeling good today.
Good.
So, yeah.
All right, that's solid.
Yeah. I wish I liked pie crust more though.
Why?
I kind of eat through the crust.
Because you have to.
Yeah.
Not because you want to.
Yeah. Most of the time. A graham cracker crust is more palatable to me. I don't love the like dry, flaky component of crusts. So if they're more moist, that's better. But like even like pumpkin pie crust. Yeah. Like once I get to the very rim, I'm like this like chalky, floury.
Yeah. I feel that.
Just like, why would I want that at the very, like, when I just had all this glorious, smooth, decadent.
It's not the same. Like, I really love pizza crust, like good pizza crust. Yes. It's not the same. Like, some people discard their pizza crust, but I'm like, I want to get to the pizza crust and eat it. Yeah. It's not like that with pie. No. You don't want to get to that weird little ribbon thing at the top.
Right.
Like,
I know. Like, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Can we just do, like,
pie
crustless pie? What would that be? Pudding?
Sweet soup.
Sweet soup. She zinged me.
Zinga. Or bazinga. That's such an antiquated reference.
Yeah, it really is. Get with the times. Oh, what was that one thing? I just can't believe
I said the word antiquated and acted like I even used that. I don't know.
It sounded very natural.
Yeah.
Unlike whatever that was. What was that one? Oh, we were talking about. Oh, I was watching that. I was watching Severance, and they had this little. They have like behind the scenes little clips at the end of each episode, and I was watching it here with you, and you were like, "Yeah, like you probably don't really need to watch that. Like they don't really tell you anything you don't already know and stuff like that." And you're like, "But you can watch it if you want to." And then you were like, "But you'd be stupid if you did." Was just so funny to me.
The way that it came out was like just so like I clearly think this is dumb and unimportant. And then I was like, well, I don't want her to think she can't watch it. So I'm like, well, you can watch it if you want to. And then I'm like, that like those two things just were so contradictory. Right. And so I had to call it out in the moment.
It was so good.
I smell pee.
You do? I smell it too. No, I don't.
Did your dog pee?
I don't think so. She's been up there the whole time. And it definitely wasn't me.
You definitely closet.
On an unrelated note, where's your closet? What? You definitely won't find soiled sheets in there later after I leave.
Just put the whole chair in the closet.
Just roll it in there. Oh.
Anyway, I think that's been good soup.
Yeah. Sorry we were out a couple weeks. I was sick and you were
tired.
Yeah.
Sick and tired.
But
here we are. We're back.
That's what happens.
With more nonsense.
Yeah. And
hope you enjoyed.
Whimsy.
Bye. Bye.